In the bustling streets of Lagos, Nigeria, life for Anna was vibrant and full of promise. But life, as Anna knew it, was about to change. Her father had just received a job offer in Ghana, a country she had only heard of in passing. The news hit Anna hard. She felt as if the ground beneath her feet was shifting, forcing her into an unknown world, far from everything she knew and loved. The day of departure came too soon. Her heart was heavy with a mix of sadness and anxiety, but deep down, there was also a spark of hope. Hope that this move might bring new opportunities, new experiences, and perhaps even new friends. The coastal city of Cape Coast was a stark contrast to the bustling streets of Lagos. The calm waves of the Atlantic Ocean crashing against the shore, the ancient forts standing as sentinels of a colonial past, and the slower pace of life were all new to Anna. Everything felt different: the people, the language, the food. She was nervous but determined to make the best of this new chapter in her life. On her first day at senior high school, Anna's heart raced as she stepped through the gates. The school was a prestigious institution, known for its academic excellence and disciplined students. Anna, always the overachiever, was excited about the academic challenges ahead, but making new friends was a daunting prospect. As she walked into the classroom, the noise of chattering students filled the air. She scanned the room, hoping to spot a friendly face. "Hey, here! Come sit here!" a girl called out from the middle of the room. Anna turned to see a girl with long, sleek hair, dressed in the sharpest uniform in the room. Her smile was wide, her eyes full of a warmth that immediately put Anna at ease. "Thank you," Anna replied, grateful for the friendly gesture as she made her way to the seat beside the girl. "I'm Kate," the girl introduced herself, her voice smooth and confident. "Welcome to Cape Coast." As they chatted, Anna quickly learned that Kate was no ordinary student. She was the school's star, the one everyone knew, everyone wanted to be friends with, and everyone envied. Her laughter was infectious, her charisma undeniable. Anna felt lucky to have been noticed by her on her first day. Despite the newness of everything around her, with Kate by her side, Anna started to feel like things might just work out. Days turned into weeks, and Anna and Kate became inseparable. They walked to classes together, shared lunch, and even studied together after school. Kate introduced Anna to her inner circle, a group of girls who were just as beautiful, popular, and confident as Kate. To Anna, it felt like she had won a golden ticket into a world she had only dreamed of. Anna's newfound friendship. There was a girl named Linda who often lingered on the outskirts of their group, her eyes filled with a quiet sadness whenever she looked at Anna. Linda had been Kate's friend before Anna came along, and although she had never said anything outright, it was clear she didn't approve of their closeness. One afternoon, as Anna was about to leave school, Linda approached her. Her usual timid demeanor was replaced with a determined look in her eyes. "Anna, can I talk to you for a second?" Linda asked, her voice soft but firm. "Sure," Anna replied, surprised. They had never really spoken much before. Linda hesitated, glancing around to make sure no one else was listening. "I just want to warn you about Kate," she began, her voice barely above a whisper. "We used to be close, like sisters, but Kate, she's not what she seems. She's manipulative, controlling. She'll hurt you, just like she hurt me." Anna frowned, taken aback by Linda's words. "I don't understand. Kate has been nothing but kind to me." "I know it's hard to believe, but I've seen how she operates. She draws you in, makes you feel special, but it's all about control for her. Please, be careful." Anna's heart raced as she processed Linda's warning, but the thought of Kate being anything other than a good friend was impossible to believe. She dismissed Linda's words as jealousy. After all, it wasn't uncommon for people to be envious of Kate's close friends. "I appreciate the concern, but I think you're mistaken," Anna said gently. "Kate has been a great friend to me." Linda sighed, her shoulders slumping. "Just be careful, okay? I don't want to see you get hurt." Anna nodded, but as she walked away, she pushed Linda's words to the back of her mind. Kate had been nothing but supportive and kind, and there was no reason to doubt her. Anna and Kate graduated from high school as the closest of friends. They shared their dreams, their fears, and even their plans for the future. Both were accepted into the same prestigious university, and their friendship only grew stronger. They were each other's confidantes, their bond seemingly unbreakable. At university, they continued to do everything together, studying, attending parties, and sharing secrets late into the night. It was a friendship that everyone admired, and Anna felt blessed to have someone like Kate by her side. But as graduation approached, life began to pull them in different directions. Anna met Bernard, a kind-hearted man with whom she quickly fell in love. Bernard was everything Anna had ever dreamed of, caring, attentive, and deeply in love with her. They married shortly after graduation, with Kate standing proudly by Anna's side as her maid of honor. The wedding was a grand affair, with family and friends gathering to celebrate the union. But beneath Kate's bright smile and cheerful demeanor, jealousy simmered. Watching Anna walk down the aisle with Bernard felt like a knife to Kate's heart. She had always been attracted to Bernard. He was her dream guy and always wished Bernard noticed her, but now, seeing him with Anna, the man she secretly desired was forever out of reach. Despite her own wedding to Andrews, a wealthy man who could provide her with a life of comfort, Kate couldn't shake her feelings for Bernard. She married Andrews for security, not love, and it weighed heavily on her. Bernard, on the other hand, seemed like the perfect husband, attentive, loving, and completely devoted to Anna. Every time Anna spoke about how wonderful Bernard was, Kate's heart burned with envy. The man she loved was now out of reach, married to her best friend, and the jealousy she harbored grew with each passing day. Since Anna and Kate were friends, Kate often spent time at Anna's house, helping out with various tasks and just hanging out. So her presence there was never a bother. The turning point came one evening when Anna was out of town for a conference. Kate, unable to resist her desires, visited Bernard under the guise of checking up on him as friends do. They spent the evening reminiscing about university days, drinking wine, and talking about life. But as the night wore on, the alcohol loosened their inhibitions. Kate, driven by her pent-up feelings, made the first move. She leaned in closer to Bernard, her breath warm against his skin, and before either of them knew it, they were kissing. At first, Bernard tried to resist, guilt washing over him like a tidal wave. But Kate was relentless, her touch igniting something in him that he hadn't felt in years. Their kiss deepened, and soon they found themselves entangled in a web of passion and deceit. For weeks, they continued their secret affair, meeting in hotels out of town, in Bernard's office after hours, and in secluded spots where they were sure no one would find them. The guilt they both felt was overwhelming, but their desire for each other was even stronger. "Anna can never know about this," Bernard would say after each meeting, his voice heavy with regret. "She won't," Kate would reply, her eyes dark with determination. "But I can't lose you, Bernard. I can't let her have you all to herself. Don't worry, you're not going to lose me. Even though I love my wife dearly, how's this part of me that wants you even though I feel it's wrong?" Bernard would say. Their affair continued, each encounter only intensifying their guilt and their passion. Bernard knew it was wrong, that he was betraying the woman he loved, but he couldn't bring himself to end it. Kate, on the other hand, was torn between her love for Bernard and her friendship with Anna. But the thought of losing Bernard was too much for her to bear. Their relationship went on for a long time, Bernard always making excuses and telling Anna he's going on a business trip, but he's rather going out of town with Kate. Anna, oblivious to the betrayal, continued to live her life as if nothing was wrong. She cherished her marriage to Bernard and her friendship with Kate, often recounting to Kate the sweet things Bernard did for her, like the surprise weekend getaways, the thoughtful gifts, and the loving gestures that made her feel like the luckiest woman in the world. One night, after coming home from work, Anna heard some noise coming from the kitchen, which struck her as odd, especially with the light dimmed low. Curiosity piqued, she walked in, only to be caught off guard by the sight of her husband and her best friend, Kate, standing too close for comfort. They quickly broke apart as soon as they noticed her, their faces betraying a mix of surprise and guilt. Trying to suppress the unease rising in her chest, Anna asked, "What's going on here?" Kate, with a forced laugh, quickly replied, "Oh, I just dropped by to check on you and chat about something. It's nothing, really." But the tension between them made Anna's suspicion hard to shake. Anna had always trusted her instincts, but one day after work, Her heart fought fiercely against the whispers of doubt that had begun to plague her mind. The image of Bernard and Kate standing together at that pharmacy haunted her when they both told her they were busy, haunted her, but she tried to convince herself it was nothing. Yet deep down, something didn't sit right. Seeing them last night in the kitchen being so close, and this evening at the pharmacy, something must be going on, Anna said to herself. The next day, Anna tried to go about her routine as usual, but her mind kept wandering back to that night. Why were they together late that night? What's going on between them and in front of a pharmacy? She wasn't having it at all. The tension in her marriage had been growing over the past few months. Bernard's constant distractions, his late-night work sessions, and now this. She knew she couldn't ignore it any longer. Or they were having an affair she would have herself. That can't be. My husband and best friend that do that to me. That evening, as they sat down for dinner, Anna couldn't help but notice Bernard's distant behavior. He was there, but his mind was clearly elsewhere, his eyes glued to his phone. The silence at the dinner table was suffocating, each clink of cutlery against the plate sounding louder than ever. "Bernard, is everything okay?" Anna finally asked, her voice soft but laden with concern. Bernard looked up, momentarily startled as if pulled out of a trance. "Yes, everything's fine. Why do you ask?" "You just seem distant lately. Is something bothering you?" She pressed, hoping for a conversation that might ease her growing unease. Bernard forced a smile. "Work has just been hectic, that's all." "Nothing to worry about, Anna." Anna nodded, but her heart remained heavy with doubt. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to his aloofness than just work stress. But Bernard wasn't offering any more explanations, and she decided not to push further, at least not tonight. Later that night, as Bernard lay beside her, sound asleep, Anna found herself wide awake, staring at the ceiling. She turned to look at him, her mind racing. Could her husband really be hiding something from her? The thought gnawed at her insides. Without thinking, she reached over to his phone, which was charging on the nightstand. She hesitated, knowing that invading his privacy was a breach of trust, but something in her urged her to go ahead. Her hands trembled as she unlocked the phone. At first, there was nothing unusual, just the usual work emails, messages from colleagues, and some group chats. Anna almost sighed in relief, ready to put the phone down. But then she noticed an archived chat, one that didn't show up in the regular list. Her heart skipped a beat as she opened it. Her eyes widened in shock as she read the message from Kate. "Thank God I'm not pregnant. I got really scared." The words seemed to blur as tears welled up in Anna's eyes. Pregnant? What was Kate talking about? And why was she discussing something so personal with Bernard? The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Her husband and her best friend, her two most trusted companions, were having an affair right under her nose. The room spun around her as she struggled to breathe. How could they do this to her? How long had this been going on? Her mind was flooded with 1,000 questions, but there were no answers, only pain. Excruciating pain. Suddenly, her sobs broke the silence of the room, and Bernard stirred beside her, waking up to find his wife in tears. Panic set in as he realized what she had discovered. "Babe, why are you crying?" he asked, sitting up and reaching out to her. Anna recoiled from his touch, her voice breaking as she spoke. "You're asking me why I'm crying? Look at your phone, Bernard. Look at what I found." Bernard's face went pale as Anna shoved the phone towards him, the damning message from Kate glaring back at him. He fumbled for words, his mind racing to come up with an explanation. "Anna, I can explain." He stammered, but the words felt hollow, even to him. "Explain?" Anna's voice was a mix of fury and heartbreak. "What is there to explain, Bernard? How you betrayed me? How you slept with my best friend? My best friend, Bernard! How could you?" Tears streamed down her face as she stood up, unable to stay in the room any longer. Bernard jumped out of bed, following her as she stormed out into the hallway. "Anna, please, let me explain," he pleaded, his voice desperate. "It was a mistake, I swear. It was just one time. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened?" Anna cut him off, her voice rising with anger. "You think that makes it any better? You lied to me. You both lied to me." Before Bernard could respond, there was a sudden knock on the door. Anna turned sharply, her emotions on the brink of exploding. "Oh, a knock on the door?" she spat out, her voice dripping with sarcasm. I'm sure it's the woman you're cheating on me with." With trembling hands, Anna opened the door, and to her utter disbelief, Kate stood there, tears in her eyes, looking as though she had been crying all night. "Anna, I have something to tell you," Kate began, her voice shaking. "I'm so sorry for what I've done. I never meant to hurt you." "You're sorry?" Anna interrupted, her voice filled with venom. "How could you do this to me, Kate? How could you betray me like this, and you almost got pregnant for him? You're disgusting. I wish I had never met either of you." Kate's eyes welled up with tears as she tried to reach out to Anna, but Anna stepped back, shaking her head. She couldn't bear to look at either of them. All she could see were the shattered pieces of the life she thought she had. Without another word, Anna turned and fled up the stairs. She grabbed a suitcase and began to throw in clothes haphazardly, her mind a whirlwind of anger, pain, and disbelief. She had to get out of there, away from the house, away from the lies, away from them. Bernard followed her, his voice thick with panic. "Anna, please don't leave. We can work through this. Please, just give me a chance to make it right." "Make it right?" Anna turned on him, her eyes blazing with fury. "You think you can just make it right after what you've done? There's nothing left to fix, Bernard. You destroyed everything." As she zipped up her suitcase, she heard the faint sound of Kate's voice downstairs, calling her name, pleading for forgiveness. But Anna couldn't care less. She grabbed her car keys and marched down the stairs, past Bernard and Kate, without so much as a glance in their direction. At the door, she paused, her voice icy cold. "You can have each other now. I hope you're happy." And with that, she walked out into the night, leaving behind the life she had once cherished. As Anna drove away, tears streaming down her face, the weight of the betrayal settled in her chest like a heavy stone. She regretted ever meeting Kate, regretted not heeding the warnings she had received so many years ago. Now, all she could do was try to pick up the pieces of her shattered life and move forward, alone.